Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, you are so very welcome. I'm Jane and my husband Mike is behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, debt and mortgage free, and living a thrifty, frugal and money saving life here in Brittany in northwest France on a super tight budget. And every Wednesday we invite you into our house to come and join us on the sofa for a mid-week money chat. Let's take a look at what we're going to talk about this week. Just like the title says, this week's chat is all about our low spend, no spend 2023. It's going to be about what we will buy, what we won't buy, and of course, we will share with you, most importantly, our why. For those of you that are new here, and as I said, you are so welcome, is to give you a bit of context and a bit of a backstory. We haven't always been thrifty, frugal money savers. Oh no. Our journey started in 2009 and we were thrifty and frugal to get rid of personal debt. We continued that lifestyle to really pay down our mortgage and then to downsize our home. And then once we downsized our home, we had a small mortgage that we just allowed to tick away, and we were able to then really start to become savers. So that's the background. And then some more context for you, especially if you're new here, is an update or a summary of 2022. We have consistently this year saved 10% of our income into long-term savings, and we have consistently put money aside also into long-term savings for a car that we're going to need to replace in 3 to 5 years' time. And what we have done with previous long-term savings this year is earlier this year we bought outright completely a new to us car. We bought a British car over with a right-hand drive. We sold that for the small amount of money that it was worth. We added that to our savings and we bought our French Renault left-hand drive car, which, as you can imagine now, has left a hole in our big savings pot. And we're working on building that up again. So that's where we've come from and that's where we currently are. If you are familiar with our channel, you'll know that we really do value having sinking funds. So we already have a long-term emergency fund that if one of the two of us died, the other one could get by for a considerable amount of time until one or the other of us rebuilt our lives. And we also have those sinking funds well and truly in place. We've not always been like this. And each time that Murphy comes knocking on your door, you know, those things that you weren't expecting, we learn a lesson from that and we have developed our sinking funds. So we have sinking funds for absolutely everything from the pets, grooming for our pets, to car maintenance, to gifts, to Christmas, to holidays, to anything we need to replace for our house. So we have all of those in place and we look upon each and every single one of those as a bill, as a must pay, and we put that money aside each and every month, and then over the year the money goes in and the money comes out. But we leave ourselves a float now in those sinking funds. So when we come to, which is for us, the end of the year for us really is sort of September, October, we've pretty much bought everything, all the gifts, everything for Christmas by then. So then when the money's going into those sinking funds again in sort of November, December and January, by the time the money needs to be spent again, that sinking fund has already started to top up. So we'll leave a link to our videos below, a couple of our videos below of our budgeting and our sinking funds. So you can see from that when you might be thinking like, well, hang on a minute, you're going to have no spend months. What about this? Or what about that? Those this or that's are in those videos. So let's get into today's topic of the chat today. What does it mean by a low spend, or what does it mean by a no spend? So you can pick a day a week where you can say, on that day a week, I'm not going to spend any money. And it could be completely no money at all. I won't buy any groceries. I won't go to the supermarket. I won't buy any coffee. I won't buy anything at all. And that can be no spend. You might decide to yourself, I'm going to have a no spend month. And that's what it looks like for us when we have no spend months. We pay the bills. We buy our essential groceries anyway, and we put fuel in the car. But we don't spend any money on anything that isn't budgeted for. And I know people are going to say things like, well, what about if the children need something? What about if there is a birthday? Or what if anything else? All of those items have sinking funds. And a sinking fund expenditure is no different from an essential bill. So of course those will have been budgeted for and saved for and paid for. But any no spend or low spend period of time is absolutely up to you. You could say to yourself, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, I will always take my coffee and my lunch to work, but on a Friday, I am going to go out and have a sandwich with my colleagues at lunchtime. That's your choice. That's one way of doing it. You might have a complete no spend on a certain item. You might say, I'm not spending any money this month on makeup. I'm not spending any money this month on hobbies. So a no spend period of time could be a day a week. It could be you say, I will never spend any money on a Sunday. It could be, and we do this one, we never spend, personally, Mike and I, we never spend any money on anything at all the last week of any given month. It just gives us time to settle our bank accounts, settle our personal budget and accounts. It gives us time to sort of take a breath. It could be that you could say, and this is something else that we do, we currently have 3 no spend months a year. And in that month, like I said, we pay for the food at the supermarket, we pay our bills, we pay for anything that's in our sinking funds, and we put fuel in the car, but we don't buy anything else. So no spend can look like a no spend day, no spend week, no spend month, and within that period of time, you can choose what you are not going to spend any money on. Now I'm going to share with you the things that we are not buying, and I'm also going to share things with you that are low buy, so really not spending much money on. So let's start with things that we're not buying. We have made the decision this year that we will not be buying any clothes or shoes or coats or anything like that this year. We've also made the decision that we will not be replacing anything in our house. If anything essential breaks down, for example, the oven or the washing machine, we already have a savings fund for that, but we have no plans to replace anything for our house. There may be things that we would like to buy that we really don't need to buy, and we will be continuing to just not buy anything like that. I'm just checking my notes here. Another one that I'm going to continue with this year, as I am a quilter, but I will not continue to not buy new fabric. All of this year, I have only bought fabric from charity shops. So I've bought things like duvet covers and pillowcases and tablecloths and fabric from charity shops. And I've used that in my quilting. I'm going to continue in 2023 to have a low spend year on plants for our garden. We did really well by going to like a charity open day where people were selling cuttings and plants that they had grown on from their garden really cheaply and really easily. And any plants that we put into our garden will be from cuttings or gifts that people have taken out of their own garden. Or, for example, tree saplings that pop up all over our property that we pull up, pot on, grow up to be stronger trees that we put out. So that's going to continue to be a low spend. We won't be buying anything decorative for our house. We don't need anything like that. So we have been buying a low spend of that this year, things like pictures from charity shops, but we've made a commitment for 2023 to ease up on that, because you can clutter up your house with pretty cute things if you're not careful, and we've made that decision to not buy any of those things in 2023. So let's talk about our whys. Now, you might be new here and you might not know that we live on a joint income which is less than French minimum wage. But don't worry about us. We're certainly not poor, because we don't have a mortgage, we don't have any rent to pay, we don't leave our house to work, we work from home, and we don't have any commuting costs, and therefore we only need one car. So don't worry about us, we are not poor. We're still able to save because we are thrifty and frugal, and our wants and needs are very, very average. So please don't concern yourself thinking like we're not earning enough money. We're absolutely fine. Now, I need to add this in, and this is important to add this. We live on that budget and we reduce our spending, and we have no spends and low spends intentionally to live beneath our means, to make sure that we don't make ourselves poor, that we don't leave ourselves short, that if we have this small amount of savings put away on a regular basis, if we do need a new washing machine, if our car needs servicing, or our car needs tyres, or our pets need to go to the vets, or we need anything from a new coat to a haircut, that we have that money put aside. And we put those long-term savings away, because you don't know what the future holds. We don't know, do we? We might need a new roof for our house. We probably won't, but we might do. There might be a huge storm. The insurance company may not cover absolutely everything. We really can't see into the future. And I definitely can't see into the future of what I might like to do in the future, or what I might need or want in the future. Do excuse me for checking on my notes here. The main reason we continue to live beneath our means, that we continue to have periods of no spend and low spend, is all about quality of life for us. Mike and I were reflecting our very early days in our relationship, where we were, one, broke. We didn't earn a lot of money. And secondly, we weren't saving any money. And we remember in particular a Christmas Eve where our oven broke. We had no savings. We had no emergency fund. We had to go out that day and buy an oven with a credit card. That's where we were 26 years ago. And I think we took upon ourselves to never be in that pickle ever again. And it would be very easy with people who live on a low income, below an income of French minimum wage, to get in a pickle if we were not careful. So we continue to be thrifty, we continue to be frugal, we continue to have sinking funds, and we continue to put away that little bit of money every single month for the future that we don't know is coming. We don't know when Murphy's going to come and knock on our door, and we really don't know what the future's going to look like. So we continue to have those low spend, no spend months, and let's look forward to another one. If you know me and you've been here before, you know that I like to be reflective, and I'd like to share this with you. If you are deciding that this is the year that you are going to have low spend, well done to you for making that decision. It might be the only way that you are going to put some savings aside. Equally, it might be, and I'm really honest about this, the only way you're going to get through. I know for us, It realistically is the only way we get through. It is the only way that we put aside that money every single month. And we're honest with you about that. It is not a picnic, it is not easy, and I like to put that out there. I also want to put out there that we're really grateful to all of you who watch these videos. We feel like we're really building a sharing community here, and we thank you so much for those comments that you leave. And I have a question for you. Do you have no spends? Do you have no spend day? Do you have no spend weeks? Do you have no spend months? And what is your why? Just leaves me to say, on behalf of Mike and myself, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.